What's up, YouTube? Slickshot61 here, and I told you what I was planning on doing. And here we are, back on Tutorial Island with my new character in RS3, and guess what his name is? His name is Bald Beauty. Bald _ Beauty, but the Y in Beauty is actually an I. But it's true. I wanted to start a new character to experience RuneScape from a newbie perspective once again, because like I told you in my coming back video, I know nothing about this game after all these updates that they've done to it. Literally everything is different. Like, look at this cooking menu. Like, you used to have to walk up to a range with all the ingredients in your pouch, and then you would cook the thing. But now it shows you everything you can cook, and you get to choose, and then you have to choose the quantity, and then you have to click cook. So the thing that I've noticed while starting this new character already is it's a lot faster, I feel, to level up now. You don't have to, like, make 500 bank trips and spend hours and hours and hours on skilling. Like, yes, that still exists. You still will spend hours on skilling, and I definitely have on this account already. But it's a lot faster now. I feel like they've made it easier for the new player to get up to speed and build their character. But check out these graphics. Look at how this game looks, man. A lot of people have asked me, why did you go on RuneScape 3 instead of playing old school RuneScape? Well, look at the game, guys. Look at it. I definitely, no judgment to those who choose old school RuneScape over RS3. But this game is just pretty, man. Like, look at the sparkles on the rocks. They added in that new heat element for smithing. So now you've actually got to heat up your item before you can work on it. And look at Vanaka. Vanaka has not changed throughout the years. Still the same tattooed bald dude. Still the same rats here on Tutorial Island. As you can see, combat looks a lot different now. You've got different moves, different abilities. It looks very cool. And truthfully, I know it's still very much a point-and-click game, but I wanted some more. You know, I wanted to experience how RuneScape changed. I get that some people want to revisit their same nostalgic experience from 13, 14, 15 years ago, like when I used to play. But why not try the new thing? Because it's still nostalgic. Like, the music is the same, just updated. Except now, as you can see, you go to Burthorpe after the Tutorial Island. Tutorial Island used to be like everything. It would show you how to use magic. It would show you how to do range. It would teach you, I think, maybe more of the skills than it did this time. But now, after you finish the first 8 to 10 minutes in Tutorial Island, they send you to Burthorpe. And you guys know this if you're playing RuneScape 3, but for those who've been away from the game for a while, who used to follow this channel, you spend a lot of time in Burthorpe after Tutorial Island. Like, I see a lot of high-level players come back to Burthorpe to skill and level up their skills because everything is here. You've got the mines, the furnaces, the cow pen for the cow hides. You've got all the vendors. I remember when Taverley was members only, and now Taverley is like one of the first places you walk into, which might be a turnoff to some players who remember back in the day. But embrace change. You know, try something new. I've really enjoyed my time back in the game so far. I am recording this after spending some time with quests and some other surprises that I have for you. But as you can see from at the bottom left there, I'm an Ironman on this account. Because I remember playing back in the day, and if there was an item I needed, I would just lazy boy out, and I would just go to the Grand Exchange and buy what I needed. But I said to myself, I want to learn how to play the game again so I can play on this account for a while, go back to my maxed combat account, Slickshot61, and then do some fun things on that too. But I gotta tell you, I'm having a lot more fun playing on a new account than I was on my existing account. And the whole Ironman concept really makes it fun. It takes away that whole Wheel of Fortune thing that RuneScape does with, like, the microtransactions that you can pay for. And you can't do that because on an Ironman, for those who don't know, you can't trade other players. You can't trade at the Grand Exchange, you can only create things based on your skills and what you get from monster drops. So every skill on this account that I level up is because it's all natural, right? I've collected all the ingredients and all the things myself. But look at how mining looks now. Like, I've actually enjoyed my time mining. The rocks look different. The process is different. I go back here a little bit later, too, and I'll go over a little bit about how the process is different. But look at this. Now you've got your ore bank and your bar banks. Those are two weird words to say at the same time. But now you can store all of your stuff at the furnace, which, again, goes to the point that I made earlier about skills being quicker to level up. And look at everything you need is right next to each other. I remember literally like running back and forth from the bank to the anvils to the forge, which was part of the experience. But now that I'm older and I just want to experience the game and quest and level things up and not spend days and days and days doing it, it's just a giant quality of life upgrade with this new system. As you can see, your item actually loses heat as you continue to smelt it, so you've got to continuously go back to the oven. I believe they call it the oven. You got to continuously go back to the oven or the forge, that's the correct term would be, and reheat the item. But as your smithing level increases, you don't have to visit the forge nearly as often, and you heat your items up a lot quicker as well. But right now, I'm just leveling up my basic skills so I can create a whole set of iron for myself, or bronze actually. And a little bit later, I'll create some iron too. But this is where we talk about the new combat system. So we've got the basic abilities. We've got the adrenaline bar now. The adrenaline bar is pretty much your special bar, like back in the day. And the cool thing about this special bar is versus just being like a special attack with whatever weapon you're holding, this special bar contains threshold abilities, which you can perform at 50% adrenaline, and ultimate abilities. Ultimate abilities consume all of your adrenaline, but they fire off a powerful ultimate attack. Currently, I believe I've only got 1 or 2 ultimate attacks that you start with, but as you level up, obviously, you get more and more attacks. And I looked this up because I was wondering, there's several different ways that you can work this combat system in RuneScape. You can do totally legacy combat, which is the old-fashioned point and click. You fight the monster, you do your thing, you get a special bar, but the special bar is for your weapon, just like it was back in the old days. Then there's revolution mode, which is what I have it in, at least for now, because there is some benefit in using the complete manual combat mode, which I'll talk about here in a second. But as you can see, when I fight these crusher trolls, with revolution combat turned on, it automatically fires off my basic abilities for me. So I'm not constantly hitting 1, 2, 3, 4 on the keypad in order to fight. I guess you could do that. I guess it's kind of similar to buying a manual vehicle. But personally, I'm not looking to AFK necessarily, but I'm not looking to like focus that much on every single fight encounter that I get into. So I like revolution mode for the point that it fires off those basic abilities for me. And then I get to choose, as you'll see, when I fire off my threshold and ultimate abilities, which is super cool. But just look at the ambiance here. Look at the enemy models. They look super good. Look at capes now. Even normal capes look good. Back in the day, this red cape would just look like clunky and weird and blocky. All the smoke effects. I'm playing this on a MacBook Pro, to give you an example, and it's almost full ultra settings for the graphics. So you don't even need that crazy of a PC or a Mac in order to run this. I'm literally using my work laptop for this. So this is me leveling up my stats so that I can clear these Slayer tasks that you get from Turiel, from over in Burthorpe. And it really guides you through every skill in a really cool way. We've already looked at mining, we've looked at smithing. It's guiding us through combat right now. You see the new loot box, so you don't have to individually click on every single item now. Again, another giant quality of life upgrade that's going to save a ton of time. And you can see that you're able to loot things from up to 3 squares away, which is really cool. And of course, you know, you take this for granted after a while. You'll be 4 squares away and you try to loot something and then it disappears and you're like, that's annoying. Why couldn't it have picked it up? But remember what it was back in the day. You used to have to literally click every single item individually in order to pick the thing up, which was how it was. But now it's a little bit quicker. So now you can level your guy up faster, really enjoy the content in the game. There's so many things to do in this game. Like, I'm running around the world now, even in Burthorpe, and there's like quest icon, quest icon, quest icon. And then there's all these different like random events throughout the different areas, and I have no idea what they are. So I'm really excited to immerse myself back into this world of RuneScape, bring you along for the ride with this Ironman character. I took a lot of inspiration from the YouTube channel called Jimmy. You know, Jimmy with the 1 for the I, and I'm sure a lot of you guys watch Jimmy if you're still playing RuneScape. And even for those who like that nostalgia factor, because he has a lot of really cool series. But I took a lot of inspiration from his series on starting an Ironman on old school RuneScape and doing every single quest in order from the first quest all the way through until he gets his quest cape. And I want to do something very similar. So as you can see here, this is the first official boss that you fight in the Burthorpe area. It's really cool how they throw these like bigger mobs at you sooner now. Because back in the day, I think King Black Dragon was like the first boss that you actually got to fight. That, the Calphite Queen. But now they throw it right at you. And they add some really cool mechanics into it too. Obviously, this guy's not really doing much damage at all. Even though he's like 5 times my size, if not more. But I really respect how Jagex injected more fun into the game. I love how they added a more in-depth tutorial. It's really made it easy for someone like me who's just starting off again to learn the game. And I can imagine that if I've never played RuneScape, this would make it really easy for me to get into the game. One of my goals for you guys is this. First off, add my character if you play RuneScape, and you can add me on old school RuneScape too. I don't play old school, but the friends list, I believe, go between the 2 games. Again, I'm still learning all this stuff, so if I'm wrong, let me know. But add me. My name, as you can see from the bottom left, is bald_beauty. Really couldn't think of any other name, and I didn't want to use Slickshot because I've already got a Slickshot. So add me. Let's have conversations. It'll be super cool to talk to some of you guys who followed the channel back in the day. If you're new to the channel, thanks so much for watching the channel. I am going to be bringing you a lot of cool things. I'm going to be thinking up some creative ideas that aren't being done. And I would love to bring you along for the ride, and I'd love to have you join the creative process and making these videos and tutorials and quest walkthroughs and reviews and all those things even more fun, because I plan on spending a lot more time on this game. Here's the magic, as you can see. Look how cool the mage looks. Really, really cool. Compared to back in the day, you just splashed on everything and it just looked kind of bland. So I've got a lot of cool ideas that I will kick off for you guys very soon here. But I want to know, what do you want to see? Go to the comments. Let me know what kind of videos, tutorials, guides, anything that you want to see. Right now, I'm just making my iron set so I can level up the melee. There we go. Smith and level up. And this has really brought a lot of joy back into the game of RuneScape for me. And I'm excited to share that joy with you guys. So make sure you add me as a friend. Subscribe to this channel so you can see all of the upcoming videos and everything else that we do. Because I'm going to take you from inception of Bald Beauty here all the way to the end. And we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to share a lot of laughs along the way. But I'm very excited to be back into the game of RuneScape. Consider this my path to Lumbridge, because after this, we're going to start the first series that I'm going to bring you. And that series will lead us to the coveted Quest Cape. It's going to be a long journey, but I know with you along for the ride, we're going to have a great time doing it. If there's anything specific you guys want to see from a video, let me know. Thanks so much for being a part of the Slickshot 61 community. We are now here in Lumbridge. We are ready to kick off our journey officially, and I will see you soon. Thanks so much, guys.